Hey, what's up mortals, it's ArchaicNexus here. Before we get into the video, there are a few things I'd like to say. Thank you so much for our supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to support us in our content, please go over there, check us out. I would also like to say we're starting a new channel based on anime lore, so make sure you click that icon or the description down below to check out our first video on that channel. Also, while you're there, make sure you check out the previous parts of this What If. With that out of the way, let's get to the video. Last time on What If Deku was a villain, Deku met his future self who explained time travel, how he cannot be seen by anyone other than Izuku himself and his end goal. He convinces present Deku to enroll in the UA support department to finish the device which future Deku had revealed can take or give away quirks. He wishes to complete the device so that everyone will be equal and that no one can abuse the power of quirks anymore. Izuku applies to participate in the UA entries exams so he can save Ochaku Uraraka and be placed within the UA support department. Presently, Deku is preparing the device to steal a quirk from a villain during the onslaught and commotion of the USJ, the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, attack. Deku tweaks a few wires into position and prepares to exit from the support class, when out of seemingly nowhere, Mei Hatsume almost instantaneously appears behind him, excitedly shouting, "Hi, Midoriya!" This causes Deku to quickly hide the device in his bag. His future self commends him on his good idea, stating how he doesn't want Mei getting hurt in his mess again. Deku tells Mei that he has to go out somewhere and will be back as soon as possible. Just as Midoriya opens the door, Mei asks, "Can I come?" This causes both present Deku and future Deku to jolt in surprise. Future Deku tells his younger counterpart to deny her request, stating it's better to do lunch this weekend rather than this silly errand. On the way to the USJ, Deku runs into Lita, who asks Deku what's he doing out of class at the moment, to which future Deku tells present Deku to say he's going out of school grounds to study villains from afar, to improve his ability to make support items. Tenya, in his haste, seems to state, "This isn't a good idea to leave school grounds, but I have to go right now, so don't get in any trouble." Lita runs off as Deku swiftly continues on his way to the USJ. As Deku arrives, he pulls out the device and switches it on, configuring it to removal mode in the confusion whilst Aizawa was erasing people's quirks. Deku saw the Nomu. He thought to himself for a moment before making his way over to it. Shigaraki was about to command the Nomu to attack some students when bang! A massive beam of red and black goo flies at the Nomu. "The quirk has been taken," Deku whispers under his breath. Deku swiftly set the device to transferal mode. He aims it at himself. A red glow fills the USJ. Deku looks up, grabs the device, and runs faster than All Might in his prime. This can make confused most as the Nomu could only keep up to All Might in his injured form. But with Deku's small stature and planned strikes, along with his training, he should be able to challenge All Might in his prime. And with the shock resistance from the Nomu, he's able to go 100% plus for a near indefinite amount of time. Future Deku congratulates his present self for the quirk he chose with the device, stating that its power, along with some training, should allow him to stop anyone in his path, even All Might. Meanwhile, at the USJ, All Might has just arrived but to see the Nomu dead on the ground and all the villains, including Shigaraki, to be captured. Now some context for the moment. Since Aizawa had not been attacked by the Nomu or Tamura, his quirk could be performed at full power. Therefore, he stopped Kurogiri from being able to transport anyone to custody, but it also meant that Shigaraki did not sustain any bullet wounds. The next day, Izuku and his future self went to Dagobah Beach to train and clear the trash that enveloped it. To Izuku's surprise, All Might and another boy who we know as Mirio were training. Deku walks up to them and asks them what they're doing, to which All Might responds, "Why, my young Midoriya, we are training. In fact, young Mirio here could use a sparring partner." To which Izuku agrees to spar with him. Izuku, having evidently more power than All Might and Mirio combined at this point, would easily dispatch of Mirio. All Might would question Deku on where his power came from, to which Izuku's future self would tell Deku to explain it as him being a late bloomer. All Might would then challenge Izuku to battle. Deku would be hesitant before his future self explained that All Might is weaker right now than ever before, and that bringing the #1 hero to his knees in front of all of his fans would grant him a lot of credibility in the criminal background. Izuku handed his phone to his future self and asked him to record this fight. All Might would chalk Deku's talk into the air up to it being part of his quirk. Future Deku would press record, All Might would power up to full, and present Deku would assume a fighting stance. Now, just a few hours before, both Izukus would have been training with Ojiro to improve on martial arts so that Deku could use his new abilities with precision and accuracy. Deku, whilst in his fighting position, noticed a larger crowd surrounding them. All Might would also notice this. They would begin cheering for All Might. Deku would notice his mother in the crowd. All Might, thinking this would be easy, would swiftly be struck down. All Might would begin to cough up blood, telling Deku that he'd regret that. A massive fight ensues between them, and merely a few minutes after the beginning of their fight, Zuko starts gaining the upper hand on All Might, forcing him to give up and visibly questions his decision of giving his quirk to Mirio. Although All Might did believe Deku was holding back, he had to get out of there as his buff form was fading. A few days later, Deku and Mei are finishing a project they had begun together when suddenly Power Loader bursts in, excited, stating that the UA Sports Festival will be taking place soon. This presents an opportunity for aspiring heroes like Deku and Shinzo to prosper where the entrance exams could not. Deku immediately perks up at the idea, but ultimately ignored it as he had fallen in love with Mei and wanted to be with her. Meanwhile, All Might was looking into the mysterious death of the League of Villains Nomu, and how its loss of its multiple quirks apparently led to its untimely demise. Deciding that All for One was alive and controlling operations from afar, All Might began his tracking efforts. Now, while Deku was on his way back home, he began thoroughly examining the device when suddenly a portal manifested out of seemingly thin air, beckoning Izuku and his future self, who had been observing himself accomplishing things most villains dream about. They enter the portal to hear an angry voice shout, "You stole that quirk from me!" Deku responds by bowing and stating, "All for One, we have goals that formulate a means to a substantial end." Thank you all for watching the video to the end. There are a few more things I'd like to go over. First, I gotta let you guys know that we have a merch store. Now, some of these items are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description box, check them out. Each purchase allows us to make more content. Second, I'd like to thank our $5 and up Patreon supporters for helping us to fund these videos. Guys, we really wouldn't be able to do this without you, so thank you so much. Lastly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editor. Their details are going to be in the description box down below. Now, if you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or even if you're interested in becoming one of those, go to our Discord that's in the description box below. Request to speak to one of the heads of those departments. We're always looking for members to join us. Now, that's it from us for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, then go ahead and hit that like button. That lets us know that you're interested in more content from us. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have a magnificent day.